Hey, what's up, everybody? Music reminds me of stuff from Ghost in the Shell. I could hear that intro song in my head, but I have not. I don't. It doesn't play over my speakers the way the stream is set up. So hmm. I also don't know what Ghost in the Shell is, so I guess it wouldn't matter. But yeah, that's one that people always ask me what that song is, and I've lost between switching between computers and drives. I don't have the original, like behind the breakdown of that video, whatever the files that I put into that video. I only have the finished thing saved onto a drive, so I actually don't know, which I don't like. I usually put, whoever made any song in the credits, like the outro or whatever. The whole goal, though, is I've been saying is to redo the intro, and so it'll be a different song, and it'll have like the members' thanks in the intro, like show all the members' names, because I don't like to do the middle of the stream anymore, just because it would kill on the stream basically. And also, as we've said, during the pandemic, it was a lot of drinking during the streams. I mean, I'm having a beer now, but I'm not having 10 beers now. So I really needed the bathroom break in the middle of the stream. Plus, we'd sometimes go for like 3 hours. But yeah. Anyways, I did mention last week that I tried to record a new one, but my GoPro, which is mostly still working, but when I go to record something really long now, shuts down. Good thing is I did look up today. The new GoPros usually come out in September, so I didn't want to replace it with the same one when I'm within like a month of when the 13 will come out, which looks like it's going to be. It might be more of an upgrade than the 11 to 12 was, so we'll see. Anyways, so yeah, what's up, everybody? What's up, Dimitri? Was watching Terry stream all day. I know he had you helping out. And then someone said you were streaming as well. I was mostly working, so it was definitely on in the background. But oh yeah, what do you guys think? Shaved today. My beard was so long. I even when I was just on my trip in Boston, I could like feel just how I'm like I have got. It's time to get rid of this. So oh, the stream where we put the utility bars on the stump jumper. Was that the one where we actually did the work, or there was one where I was out riding and I can't remember what happened, but I was having some beers with friends and I was too buzzed to be doing what I was trying to do. So, what's up, Pat? I already talked to you, IKEA Rat. Ronald Dunn. If I don't know if you meant that to be past tense, but I got back yesterday from Boston around 3 o'clock. So, put out a video today of the first part of my trip. I was going to make it all one video. Um, the real reason I broke it into two is I just wouldn't have had time to get a video out if I was going to edit all the Boston footage too. But I also did kind of think there might be a different crowd for each video. There might be some people who just want to watch the Boston stuff. Some people don't care about city riding who wanted to watch the rail trail stuff. So maybe it made sense. The algorithm definitely favors longer videos these days. But yeah. What's up, Chad? You said it barely reached 60 degrees in Rochester today. Oh, interesting. What did it get here today? It had to be higher 60s, right? I rode with this on almost the whole time and didn't get sweaty till on my way home. I didn't look. Yeah.
I didn't even look. I was working, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely cooler though. It already feels cool in the. It's great for sleeping now that I have a bed right next to the window. I just wear jeans. I don't. I do have a pair of Rafa pants I bought that were like marked down huge on sale. But they're more um, truly winter pants. Like I don't really wear them unless I'm also wearing a layer underneath them because they are pretty warm. Just jeans. Yeah, I don't wear any special riding pants. Um, and do you wear straps to protect them from getting stuck in the chain? I don't really have an issue with that. But then again, I don't. I just think I guess my pants are tight enough. But I do see those straps that people use, and they make sense if you know your pants are getting stuck in the chain or just getting dirty from the chain. So yeah, those are always a good idea, and I think a lot of them are reflective too. But yeah, I've never used them. I've rolled pants. I know when I had some pants that kind of like maybe they were just even kind of the wind was hitting them, and maybe they're going out wide. I've kind of or even put a little bit of that old school tight roll we used to do like in fifth grade. But yeah, I just if I have had an issue, I haven't thought about that for a while. I just roll that leg up a little more, but see what other people say. Yeah, Rue, I know a lot of people don't realize it because I'm usually have a beard, but I shave it like completely clean every time, like I when I feel like it. So it's just now I won't end up shaving again for probably months. So people are used to the beard, but if you go through the channel, you'll see like on almost a 6 month, like something like that I do shave it. But hey, what's up, Donald? I believe I also have an email from you that I glanced at but haven't had the chance to get into. I have really, guys, been with that trip and trying to get stuff ready for that trip, and then I have a shoot every single day this week, so just have not kept up on stuff. Same with the Discord. Like I looked at it a little bit today, a little bit before we came on, but I'm behind on everything. I did take the time to go through all the YouTube comments I haven't read before the stream though, and respond to all of those. So I'm caught up on that. To put a video out today, so I'm sure there's more as we're saying that. Paul Rudd looks like he finally aged. Kenneth said, rode my bike to the station today. First bike commute ever. So over to the train station, I assume you're saying? Hey, what's up, Michael? How you doing? Question. Really good bike lights. I like O-lights. O-lights or Magic Shine lights. Uh, but yeah, those are my favorite. I just like they were they've been using USB-C for a long time on all their lights. I just like how positive the clicking is. But if your shop sells Knight Rider, because I believe they're a brand that is distributed through QBP, uh, I've never had a problem with those either. I prefer the O-lights, but if your bike shop has Knight Rider, you won't have any issues with those. And if you want to support someone local, I would go that route. Hey, what's up, Robert? Out in Detroit. Oh, you were going to stream, but you forgot your USB cable. That sucks. I might try putting more on YouTube as well. Ah, Peekaboo. Yeah, that live stream where we, yeah, set up the stump jumper, that vintage 1989 Team stump jumper. I haven't ridden that as much this summer. Um, Rode it in the spring a number of times, but as the summer went on, I haven't used it as much. I really do like that Velo Orange utility rack. It's really handy when I need to haul odd shaped stuff, or if I'm using my one camera bag that I don't, it's just really not practical to ride with it over my shoulder. But I didn't have a lot of location shoots where I needed that bag this summer. That's probably just why. But oh, Dimitri, you said it got to 68 in Toronto. Huh. Got warmer in Toronto than it did in Rochester. That's unusual. But the weather has been really freaking weird lately. Anyways, super windy here. I only went for like an hour and 15-minute ride. Just uh, went down to Summit Lake and came back on some gravel and then back home. But the way back was brutal. It was so windy. Yeah, Michael, I'll definitely talk about this in the next video, but I've been going to Boston since, I'm not sure exactly when, but late teens and 2000s. Whenever my buddy Eric moved out there, going out there to visit him, then for his wedding, and then obviously didn't go out for a couple of years because of the pandemic. And I was out there again for February, working for his wife, and that's what I was just doing this time, finishing up that job we started with that I was doing for his wife, who works for a big seafood company in Boston. But even since I've been going, the bike infrastructure has gone like through the roof. I could even see it in the neighborhood they live in, which is Roxbury. They're almost on the border with Jamaica Plain. But it is absolutely, it's amazing. It is so easy to get around on a bike there, and some stuff that's completely protected. So I had ridden the city bike there a couple times, but this was the first time I had my bike, so I could really ride some miles out there. But yeah, I mean, the driving is crazy. The drivers are crazy, but you definitely have to look out at crossings. But I had a lot of people wave me on and wait for the bike, and Yeah, I was actually really impressed. First time I went to Boston, I thought there's no way I'd ride my bike around here, and I rode probably 50 miles out there through like mostly through the city, like all through the city and over into Cambridge and stuff like that with no issue. So mid 60s here today. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Long bike pants with zippers work great on Rochester bike trails. Yeah, bike shoes with covers. I don't ride since I don't really ride with bike shoes. I just have some like I don't ride clipless. I have some 510s that are winter versions. That's what I wear, shoes wise. But oh man, 102, still 94 degrees. Wow. Socks over the pants. Yeah, I guess uh, I don't think I really have any kind of socks that would really work with. Uh, I guess my heavy wool socks in the winter maybe, but yeah, I almost always wear cycling socks if it's not too cold, so I couldn't. Those wouldn't go over the jeans; they're too tight. But I could see I've seen people do that. Oh, Racer, what's up? Yeah, I actually well that's why I let it grow out because once it's grown out, it doesn't bother me. It's going to be the next few days that are the worst for me. Um, I don't think Edmund cared about the shaving. I don't think he notices, but he's been so friendly because I was gone for 6 days. So he's today he's just been following me around, meowing like crazy. He's laying down next to Dave right now. I know. I would like to. I'm gonna get like. I would like to have my beard like laser hair removed or whatever, where it never comes back. I prefer to. I like this look better. Like I only grow the beard because I hate shaving so much. So and no one in my career makes me shave. So the only times I've ever stayed clean shaven is when I had no choice. So oh, Kenneth, you're a DJ at the radio station. Gotcha. DJ at WKH. Oh, woke radio, huh? Just, I'm kidding. Don't no one make a comment about that.
Didn't you make a comment about political statements earlier
Yeah,
before you started?
yeah, like not to do it, but
Here.
I mean, it's W.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, kind of teed that one up for you.
you were between Killington and Castleton. Got the maps up. Does anyone know? This is something I've always wanted to look up, and I only think about it when I'm like driving, so I can't look it up. Why do they call like creeks and rivers kills? In like, I guess is that more of a New York thing or is that a New England thing too? But like Fishkill Creek, uh, Greenkill, whatever. Does anyone know the answer to that? Well, I'm thinking about it. I just saw your Killington, and that's what made me think of that. But oh, okay, so kind of north up, like a little outside of the Hudson Valley, Green Mountain National Forest. Oh wait, why is it not showing that? I didn't realize that. Huh? A lot of things went weird today, by the way. That's why the chat started later, but I'll fix it. There we go. Yeah, not sure what was going on. Like it swapped our monitors. The computer wouldn't turn on. I don't. We were wondering if maybe while I was gone there were some storms and the power went out and it messed with some stuff, but I have no idea. Now I'm gonna zoom back into where we started. Let's see, have I been in this area? Oh no, because like I was saying in Vermont, I've really only been on the Brattleboro there with the New Hampshire border, kind of. Oh, no way. That sucks. Everyone was so excited to hear how that was going to go for you. Not legal seafood, Pudgy. That's a competitor of theirs. They're Stavis and Worldwide Perishables. But they're owned by a Spanish company called Profan, but the brand in Boston is Stavis. Really big. I mean, they supply certain fish to Walmart and stuff like that. Other stuff much more local to restaurants, all kinds. Yeah, the operation is intense. They actually, the reason I was there to work on the weekend is because we wanted to run like one line and be very particular about making sure everyone had the right PPE on and all that kind of stuff. Last time there were some people who weren't, and me and Martha, who's the marketing person, aren't experts in that. And also they have a higher standard in Spain, so there's stuff they don't always do in Boston, and so the people that were helping us out check all that didn't realize it would be a problem. So went back to kind of get some of the stuff that didn't work out because some of the just like I don't know, like the weird sleeves they were even wearing over the gloves and all the way up. Yeah. But yeah, it's people dealing with seafood, so I do understand why the corporate side wants the look to be absolutely perfect. City west of Toronto also got flooded a couple days ago. Yeah, it looks like, was it Saturday they got pounded here while I was gone because some of my sunflowers went over, all the pots are full of water. But
See, I don't remember what. It was real short, real quick. Like it, I noticed the sunflower over, and where did that come from?
yeah, but 2 weeks ago we had horrible flooding. I mean, I was okay here. Studio sits on a little hill and I have floor drains, but I mean some stuff around the Cuyahoga Valley got destroyed. So
Well, the falls, every other intersection was underwater.
yeah,
It was terrible.
yeah, Front Street was underwater. Roxbury and JP are so much nicer now. Yeah, they definitely both still have their because I rode around them a lot. They both definitely have some rougher sides, but even where Eric and Martha live, she said when she first bought that condo, you know, it was much different. So definitely, JP seems to have had a lot more gentrification than much of Roxbury has. But like I said, I haven't been going for that long, so I didn't see it like back in the day. You were south of Middlebury. I saw that on the map. Oh. Oh, nice. Gonna make it up and do a different one in September. And you could ride from home. That's my favorite. So the mayor of Boston, Michelle, she has done a lot for bikes in Boston. She commutes from Jamaica Plain to Boston City Hall a few times a week. That makes sense then because I pretty much rode the like there's almost a trail all the way where that goes along the train line, the subway commuter train lines that you really don't have to be on the road at all until you get near downtown, and then there's great bike lanes all the way. So I rode that both days to go downtown, or I guess they call that more like the north side, right? Summer is hanging on hard here in Colorado. It seems like here a switch was flipped and it went fall, but we'll see. We should get still some more.
It'll
warm
get
weather.
back in
Yeah.
the 80s by the end of the week.
Yeah, we'll get warmer weather again. Ah, kill is Dutch for creek. Interesting. I would not have guessed that.
Now, is everybody just like everybody in the chat just like a human Wikipedia, or is they got Google open? Because everybody answered immediately.
Oh, I bet it's a combination. I bet some people knew, and I bet some people were looking it up. Watching Terry stream today, he was like, will someone Google what the main industry in Hartford is? Because he was riding through Hartford. He's like, what are they known for here? And, everyone's like, it's the insurance capital of the world, but I don't think there were many people in there that knew that because I was like, I think it's some kind of financial place, but black screen was looking good, thanks. So it's Fish Creek, yeah.
Viz is
See the cat over? Yeah, you can see the cat over there.
Viz
Cat
is
takes
Dutch for Viz fish Viz. So Fish Creek. Fish kill. What'd you say?
What?
That's where the fish comes from is Viz.
Viz.
Viz, so fish, similar.
Ah, yeah. What's up, Cycling Brian? Main Outdoors, how's it going? Hey, what's up, Jay Dandy? Oh wait, I have the.
Why would all that be all screwed up?
I'm wondering why the comments aren't going on top of the logo there. You know what I mean? There we go. Maybe I've just never noticed it before, but it annoyed me. Wrangler ATG that you really like for the price. They have stretch where you need them. They're thin, but I've had good luck with wear. Yeah, whoops.
Change the camera.
Yeah, sorry. That dude is out. Yeah, I used to have a problem when I'd wear it because I used to wear a lot of women's jeans because they just fit better for a while. But those have a lot of spandex in them. They'd be comfortable to ride in, but I had wear problems. So it's good to know you don't with those because I would just, I'd wear them out really bad, especially when I started riding in them. To Creek a Mockingbird. What's up, Eric? Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Yep. Yes. Oh, excuse me. The Dutch history in, New York, New Amsterdam, ended so long ago, but I guess there must have still been a number of Dutch around New York for that to stay. I guess I didn't really realize there was still any kind of, that the Dutch influence went that far. Hey, what's up, Noah? Yeah, that's what we did a year ago, 4th of July. I absolutely loved it out there. We keep talking about getting back up that way, along Lake Michigan or something like that. Did Connecticut flood too right now? I know there were, like I said, I had Terry stream all day. He rode all the way across Connecticut today on in the background. I know there were detours, so I wonder if that's why. Used bike. You're still on with the painting and rebuilding project. Nice. The threadless 1-inch wasn't around long enough to have a huge stockpile of parts for them. Wow, yeah. I think I had an issue when I was building up the Marin, and I had to have Yonda tap the threads down farther to make it work with that fork. Godfernum is Dutch too? I don't know what that means. Is fen Dutch? Boston has a lot of fens.
You can't just say a Dutch word and say that it's Dutch.
Yeah. Yeah. You could just say any Dutch word and then say it's Dutch. Yeah, I do have those wide birthing hips. Can you recommend a good air pump that you can hook on your bike? Uh, I always just keep them in my bags because I always have bags. All the ones I bought came with holders, but I've never used the holder things. I guess I do on my winter bike, but so I take that back. I do have a holder with the pump that you gave me like 15 years ago. It's on there right now. I could see it.
What bike?
It's on the vintage, or it's on the truck winter bike. That silver pump you gave it to me for some reason. I don't know if you upgraded yours.
Oh, yeah.
I think it only works with Schrader, and that's why I just put
Yeah,
the mount on
probably.
that bike and
That's
keep it on
old.
there.
That's super old.
Yeah, still works. Yeah, I mean, I think, man, so many of the pumps come with mounts for mounting on the bike, but as far as a recommendation, someone else might have something. Alta Morindo said the upper class was Dutch well into the 19th century. Interesting. I'm such a big history nerd. I don't know why that's really slipped by me, and I'm a pretty big New York history nerd as well, but on the city, so. I skipped Kenneth's explanation? Did I? Oh, I have it on Top Chat. It might not have shown up. Let me fix that. Top Chat could be a little bit algorithmic, so. Damn, is this how far back I am, or did it just erase what I've already looked? Yeah. Well, I've lost it now, because I do not see it anywhere. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what happened, bud. Yeah, sorry. I don't see it anywhere. Maybe Pudgy deleted it. He didn't like it. I don't know. Ah, you said you could wear the Wranglers out for sure. You just have it, and they're so cheap it won't be that huge of an issue. Yeah. One of my problems too is like I was cutting my pants into jean shorts after already wearing for a long time, and then eventually it would blow the rear end out of them from riding them on bikes. But without looking up, what is Dutch door action? Dutch door action? Just a phrase? I don't know. I know what going Dutch on a check is.
Is that supposed to be some euphemism?
It's got to be. Dutch door action? Clark said doing the first overnighter to a park outside Philly. Well, I mean, my advice is always to do an overnighter to see if there's anything you think you're missing, you know, because it's not going to be that big of a deal. Man, I guess there's not like anything super special. I try to think it's all the normal things, you know, you want to remember. So, yeah, just double checking all the things you need to sleep. Then also just making sure however you have your bike set up is nice and is not going to rattle loose and all that kind of thing. So I just testing to make sure the bike's still comfortable, but that's, you know, you're already going tomorrow. You're going to find out. But that's what I always do as an overnighter as a test. So good luck. Fen is English. I think of it as hunting fen. So yeah, I went to a place I hadn't been to in Boston that was kind of by the Fenway, but it was oh man, I can't remember what it was called. Something Fens, and it was like a pond area. But do not look up Dutch door action. The term knickerbocker means someone with Dutch ancestry. I thought knickerbockers were the kind of pants. Like when there was the New York with Knicks is short for knickerbocker, I thought that was a pant thing. Knickerbockers?
Yeah.
Pants, right?
No. I mean, I'm sure, yes. But I think whoever said that
Is what it is.
yeah, the original meaning.
Fen is an old English word for marsh. I assumed it meant marsh just from where I always see or when I'm in Boston and I see something's a fen, it's clearly a marsh. Billy Blaze, what's up? We're talking about doing one in Pittsburgh on September 14th, but whatever the Friday is. So I don't have a calendar up right now, but so that's kind of the plan. We're talking about it in Discord. My whole goal was to get back from Boston and then worry about it, but I'll already hit up a couple of the Pittsburgh guys to plan a route. So I think we're going to be able to do that. Nothing's come up that would stop it yet. So haven't made a event page or anything yet, though. And talking about trying to do one in Akron, just a chill type, like out to Kent thing. Been talking about that with D'Amico, who I saw in here. I hope I pulled up his comment, but now I can't remember. So. Oh, there's a good piece of advice. Take cash. The state parks here won't let you collect firewood, but they sell bundles in the park. Oh, really? Are you not supposed to collect firewood? I totally did in PA. Yeah, I bought a couple bundles, but I definitely cleaned up all the loose stuff in my campsite to burn. It makes sense that if you're not allowed to, because there was a lot of it to gather up. More for me.
More for you.
I bought some. I bought a 4-pack from the brewery. And I had one, and I'm like, all right, I could go to bed now. And then I'm like, I'll have one more. And the fire was burning down. And then I'm like, I'll gather up some firewood and have one more. I was listening to music, having a good time out there in the woods by myself. So. Oh, on the pump topic, Toe Peak Mini Morph. Yeah. I use actually one that's branded Cannondale. I'm sure it's not, they don't make it, but that one, I actually can't remember if that one came with mounts. When it comes to pumps though now, one thing I would recommend is getting one that has like the hose that comes out. Those are so much better than the old school ones, because now when you're really trying to fill, I'm not going to do the motion. I'm going to get made fun of for the pumping, because everyone films everyone else pumping up a tire because it looks so ridiculous. But anyways, the ones that have the little hose so you could put it on, so when you are doing all that pumping action, it's not rattling your valves around, and it's easier to have someone hold the bike. So that is one big thing on a pump that I would now not go without, making sure that it has the hose that comes out. Yeah, Silca, all their pumps are great. What's the other brand that has a weird name that makes like really, really nice stuff, but they're really, really expensive?
Do people like that screw on? I think it's this. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the screw on, I don't. I find it annoying.
That's what I don't like about their floor pump.
Yeah. They're really good because you know you're attached. But yeah, the screw on ones, I had one like that and I don't like it. And then we were just using, who had one? Someone had one too that was like where you have to screw it on there. Man, it is nice that you know it's so secure, but I also just find it annoying when you're in a hurry. And that's usually when you're using those.
I always lost pressure trying to undo it then.
Oh yeah, by the time you I don't like the screw-on ones, to be honest. I had one, and it was that other. What's the really high-end brand? They make lights and stuff too. Someone's gonna ask that, but I'm so far down. Ah, gotcha. Used bikes. Yeah, I've never tried to do it myself though. Huh. David said, quick Google show, many local communities continue to speak Dutch for 200 years after New Netherland was surrendered to New England. Huh. Yeah, I really did not realize the legacy lasted that long. So.
I don't know how to pronounce that. Lezyn.
Oh, yeah, that's Lezyne, I think it is. That's exactly who I was thinking of. Did someone say that?
Mm-hmm.
They knew what I was talking about. Yeah. They make great stuff, but it's pricey. So. I feel like there's comments that aren't showing up to me, but Dutch doors are split in the middle, letting you open the upper part, often used as a desk for services. Yeah, Dutch doors. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I guess I haven't thought about it for a long time. Yeah, one of the things is I had no idea when or if I'd be able to ride. So there's been a number of people who, when I've been in Boston before, have been like, "Hey, if you come back, hit me up." And I didn't hit anybody up because it was a work trip. So we were going to be working on Saturday and Sunday. I knew I wouldn't be riding on Sunday because I was going to start driving the second we were done working, which is what I did. On Saturday, we only ended up doing exterior shots because they weren't ready for us to do anything else. So I was done really early, so I didn't put it out there because I just had no idea. And on Friday, and also I was going to be meeting my buddy when he was off work. He was working every day. And same thing on Friday. I got there. Eric was going to be working for a few more hours, so I just took off on my bike, and he was going to text me when he was done because the amount of time it would take him to drive from where he works to it would take me to get back to where they live. I just kind of kept in that radius. So yeah, if I do get back to Boston and there is like originally with this trip I was hoping to have a couple extra days, but they moved it last minute because they weren't able to. They were shutting down one of the lines. Whatever, doesn't matter to you guys. They moved the trip last minute, and I had jobs on either bookending it, so I lost that extra time I was hoping to have like a free day to ride and see if anyone wanted to. Anyways, I'm sure I'll say that a lot in the comments of the next video that's about Boston because people will be like, "Hey, you should hit me up," and it's like, yeah, it wasn't in the cards, unfortunately. Oh, is that what they call the Dutch door action? I know they talk about that to tell people to do that when they park in bike lanes to give you that. Hmm. Oh, you carry Fisker hatchet when you bike pack? Nice. I bike pack an axe. It was interesting when he's riding with a friend on his stream right now, Terry Berenson, who has not bike packed before, and he was helping him rearrange his saddle seat pack. And when he looked at it, he pulled out like a giant book. The guy had brought like a giant book bike packing with him. It was like, man, that's
Like a hardback?
it wasn't a hardback, but it was still pretty decent size. It was pretty funny. Terry was cracking up. And he's like, I mean, there will be time. He's like, when do you have time to read on a bike tour, anyways? But Erin, I think, brings her Kindle, but
Yeah, that's
much
pretty
more,
compact.
yeah, svelte. So the Dutch Reach, yeah. Bend in Boston were wetland swamps. Yeah, well, I'm thinking about the earplug thing more and more. On my camping on the way back, I camped 2 nights ago in New York. Uh, Same place we camped on the Erie Canal, actually, Green Lakes. And in the morning, my neighbors, their kids, they let them ride around the campground just yelling. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, everyone's sleeping in tents. You see that you guys are some of the few people up. How could you be this stupid? But yeah, I didn't. Then just people playing music later, which is rare. I mean, like, but it's happened. I need to remember the earplug thing. I don't know if it would bother me. I've never tried it to sleep with them, but it's worth a try because yeah, some people are just horrible. These people, they also had their dog off a leash and it ran out into the road and almost got hit by a car. That was barely moving. The dog was an idiot. Of course, they didn't train their kids or their dogs. But the little girl just starts screaming at the top of her lungs, even after, like, they already got the dog back. She just keeps screaming, and then the guy's finally like, "Hey, you can't scream." It's like, no, you can't. Like, smack that kid. Yeah, I mean, my parents would have smacked me. I probably wouldn't smack the kid, but anyhow. Worcestershire is Dutch for sauce that's good on steak. You guys, I don't know. Stoplights, park rules, whatever. I didn't know about the park rule. That's ignorance. Stoplights I don't care about. Yeah, Cash makes a good tire boot, that's for sure. I've seen people do that. Yeah. Is Zion? Is that the pronunciation? I feel like that's actually one time I might be right on something. I just take the risk with CO2. Yeah, I've said it before. And it really doesn't matter, but I just feel like CO2 is so wasteful. But it is so much more convenient when it works. So Design makes the ultimate bike packing pump floor drive. I think it's called. The screw-on type will remove your valve core if your core's not tight. Yeah. Oh, Jay Dandy, you said you've soured on them. Huh. Billy Blaze, we were talking about that when we were up in Michigan. I don't think we have, like my crew, well, speak for me and Aaron and Ben, have the time or the money to do Hodag this year. Unfortunately, it's a bummer because I absolutely loved that event, but it's just so far, which you wouldn't think about, just a little past the UP is that far from here, but it's actually farther than the East Coast. So, yeah. We were saying maybe we make that an every other year thing if they keep doing it, but yeah, I'm kind of bummed not to do it, but see if anyone else says they are. Cycling Brian says, with the design screw-on ones, there's a pressure release button, so you don't lose any pressure when you're unscrewing the nozzle. Which there's a chance the ones I was using have that too, but in the dark I didn't realize it, or you know. It's still not your favorite nozzle. Design is like Haagen-Dazs, fake Euro name. Oh wait, they are U.S. Are they a U.S. company? I remember, was it Pathless Pedaled who did a tour? I know I watched a YouTube tour of their facility, but now it's been so long. Oh, Stream Elements decided to show up, huh? Were they in here? I'm just writing everything at once now. Earplugs are a must-have for camping trip. Do you have any recommendations? I have like the kind that you get on like any job site, but I've never like. Will those work? Are they as comfortable to sleep in, or do you need to get something like that's a little fancier? That's what I'm wondering, Pat. Well, two things: are they comfortable, or would they make me feel uncomfortable that I couldn't hear things? Um, in PA, or no, in New York on my way back, it had been pouring outside and it was even raining when I got to my campsite. I just slept in the back of the Matrix, but I slept with the hatch up because I didn't want it to get all stuffy in there. So, yeah, I feel like, and my bike was just like underneath the picnic table with my rainfly over it, and so was some of my, light stands and stuff from my photography stuff. I wasn't worried about like locking all that up in that situation and with the people around me, but yeah, I wonder if like earplugs would give me anxiety because that is one of the things I'm thinking. Well, if anyone messes with my stuff, I'm going to hear it. So, not trying to fight a grizzly though. No child violence before 10 p.m. Yeah, and we also camped at, was that Mount Vernon, which on I think it was 4th of July, and there was a drag race track that had like drag races till like 10 o'clock once. So no, it was later than that because I would have been going to bed before 10 o'clock. But yeah, earplugs would have come in handy that night too. How I pronounced something right for the first time ever on the live stream. El Tamarindo. Earplugs lead to soggy ears, ear infections. Maybe only put them in when needed. Yeah. Yeah, Racer, that's a good question. I mean, it depends. Uh, most pumps, when you're undoing them, it's just the pressure that's in the pump, not the pressure that was in the tire. But Design is an American company. Okay, so I probably did see Pathless Pedaled video where he toured them. Just use the job site disposable ones. Gotcha. Standard foam earplugs. All right. Yeah, I don't need a box of 200 of them. I think I still have ones. Did we use them at the farm when weed whacking? What do I even have them from? I don't know. I still have those little two. Oh yeah, because we shot stuff. We're always shooting guns. That's why I wore them. I think I usually wore the over-the-ear ones though, but I probably kept a couple. Just yeah. And then when I tour factories, sometimes I get handed a number of sets. I just always put them in the same spot, so I just have them. But yeah, I guess nicer ones that would be gross. I always hate generating unnecessary waste, but that's a drop in the bucket in what's going on in the world. you know. I do see people who go to shows like punk rock shows. It seems like people have a case though. With some people do clean and carry nicer.
Those are a little above the foam that you roll up and put in your ear. They're not plastic, but they're like a real malleable, rubber almost.
They must be easier to wash, and then they must have.
Right.
I also think there's something about the sound quality with those is why people wear them.
It's all over the map.
It's not just muffling stuff. It's
yeah.
I don't know. Now do people just use earbuds with some kind of transparency mode turned down?
I'd be amazed at work people are just using AirPods.
Yeah.
But the sound deadening ones, and they're using those for ear protection, which is insane to me.
Are they saying it's working? Because I know that that's supposed to be on the pros and stuff are some brands are supposed to be absolutely incredible with that. Because I know people say on airplanes you can't hear the jet engines at all and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to be sitting on a lawnmower trusting noise canceling.
Yeah, I've never used anything like that. I only have wired. I don't even have any interest in AirPods. I would just. But I just don't go around with them, so it doesn't matter to me.
So you don't listen to anything on your rides?
No. I never have headphones in on my rides, if I'm
even on a trail?
Nah. Yeah, I never wear headphones. I wear headphones to edit videos, and then on some camping trips I'll bring them because maybe Aaron's gonna go to bed earlier,
right.
And then I'm gonna want to mess around with my phone before I go to sleep. But I just still carry just the FireWire ones that they used to give you for free. And here I have studio monitors. I have nicer Sony.
Well, yeah, that's different.
Sound editing, but yeah. The only thing so for me, people complained about them getting rid of the headphone jack. The thing that annoyed me is if you want to charge and listen to music at the same time, but I think I have one set that I even have an adapter for. It goes from the headphone. They're so old. I have an adapter to go from the headphone jack to the not FireWire. Is that lightning port?
Lightning
port. Yeah, not FireWires. FireWire. Are we still on here, or did everyone just stop chatting?
No, you're good.
I bored everyone. Oh, there we go. It just got stuck. Tim is copying I Know a Guy Bicycles on YouTube with the baby face. I don't know who that is. So, can't be copying. You can get custom ear molds very popular with shooters. Did people wear those when you did game, what did you call it? Target shooting? What did you do that?
Trap.
Trap shooting.
Yeah, I had a pair. It was a half-hour process where they put the molding in your ear, and they're really good. They just get dirty and gross.
Are they expensive?
I always get them every few years down at the state shoots, so they're relatively cheap because they're just trying to generate business.
But can you clean them pretty easily?
You can clean them.
Clean them after every time you.
Yeah,
them, right?
But if you don't, they get gross real quick.
Yeah.
They're really good.
I just got to stay on top. One more thing to stay on top.
It's just another thing to deal with. So I just went back to the little foamy, squishy ones. Plus that would be hard to sleep in. Those are pretty solid.
Oh, yeah. The foam ones are probably actually better for sleeping in because when you roll over on it, they're just
Right.
going to compress a little more.
That would be that'd be a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Sleeping in the woods with like not hearing anything
Yeah.
except your own heartbeat. Like,
Yeah. Most of the time, I'm with a group. Like, so maybe that would be the thing. So it wouldn't help me out on this trip, but on other trips when I'm, sleeping with there's a bunch of people around. I guess if everyone has them in the.
it did take. I would always wear them at Cling Thing, like coming home from the farm, and there's 30 kids in the basement having a show. So yeah, and it took a while to get used to, but
No, so you did sleep with them then.
yeah.
All the old guys who already have tinnitus remember using earplugs at shows. Yeah, I'm deafer in the one ear that faced my guitar player than the other ear. There's no question about it. Um, I should. I think later I started putting one loosely in that faced his guitar amp, but it was too late. I've already and I like I said I don't listen to headphones a lot now. Growing up, I listened to headphones. I always had headphones on. Like I listened to Sony Walkman cassettes with headphones nonstop. So yeah, living at home with my parents, like I always listen to my music on headphones, so I'm sure that has not affected my hearing well either. So, Joseph asked if I try to ride a certain amount of miles a week, or is it just spontaneous? I mean, it's mostly spontaneous, but I'd be lying to say I don't pay attention at all. Like, with Strava, I think I put in, it has a weekly goal you could put in. I put in 125, but it's not like if I'm not there on Sunday, I'm going to like go out and make sure I hit that mileage. But
You've done that though.
Yeah.
You've mentioned that.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had enough or hit
Yeah.
my goal or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't ridden that much. Yeah. Even today, I was like trying to get a bunch of work done, but I also needed a break. I'm like, I haven't ridden this week. Well, it's only Tuesday, but still. I didn't ride on Sunday either. So then I went out and rode 14 miles just to ride. But that's both. I guess it's spontaneous because I needed a break and I wanted to be outside on a nice day. But to say I don't ever think about the mileage would be a lie. So
You ever join any of those the Strava challenges or anything like that?
no, I used to, and I see everyone joining them, and now I just don't really care. But some of them have like prizes and stuff too. But yeah, I don't anymore. I do the Rafa Festa 500 at the end of the year, which Strava uses, but that's about it. Just use your fingers to plug your ears. Yeah, just be sleeping. On the DC subway, if you fall on the escalator and are strangled by your headphone wire, they rule it a suicide. AirPods are better on the subway. Trap shooting. He is not the bike farmer. I watched it. With the busy week and the traveling, I had to watch the highlights sometimes. But I was just telling Dave this, but sat in the back that night. I slept in the Matrix. I sat in the back and watched all of Alpe d'Huez. One of the best races I've ever seen. So I'm a huge Cassia fan, and always, have been since I watched women's cycling. So I was, I thought it was an awesome race. So also so crazy to watch SD Works just completely melt down. I don't know what the hell that was. Best team in the world with the best stage race rider in the world. There's no excuse for them not to win that race. It was all the director's fault. So it was horrible. It was like even the one channel I watch a lot of the highlights on, the Lantern Rouge. Like he was like it was shameful, and I agree. It was shameful riding by SD Works to leave Demi behind like that. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a great race. I hope they eventually extend it to make it more like the real tour. Yeah, it's fair to say the real tour. It's not the women's fault that the organizers only make it a week. So some places you want to be able to hear what is happening for sure. Did you ever go to the Grand while it was in Ohio? Do you know what the Grand is?
I don't know the context.
Yeah, I don't know what Adam. You have to give me a little more context. I don't know what the Grand is. The Grand. grand is capitalized. I'm not sure. Hey, what's up, William? Looking good, huh? Yeah, lots of drama this year, Jim. But a great finish. It made for one of the, like I said, one of the best races I've ever watched. You know, best Queen stage of all time for sure. In any race. I I was doing everything I could not to yell out loud. Speaking of waking up your neighbors at a campground, and then I think I might have even cried a little bit. So Pelotonia Gravel Day. I'm not familiar with that, Pat. I know Pelotonia is. I know the bigger ride people do to raise money, but Peekaboo, yes, we've had problems. So I probably told this story before, but we were doing Ohio to Erie one year. I think it was 2021, and so I think they closed the campgrounds. Did they in 2020? The state parks? I can't remember, but when we were going after 4th of July, I feel like the campgrounds had just opened back up. Anyways, we were getting set up at camp, and a lot of this, I don't know if, I know New York has this. I don't know about other states, but Ohio has it, where they have camp hosts at the different campgrounds. So there's someone with their RV, and they're kind of the ones who just like keep an eye on things. If you have questions, you could ask them. They came walking around and they saw us and they said, "Are you aware of our raccoon problem, our raccoon situation?" That's what it is. Are you aware of our raccoon situation? Because everywhere we go to camp now, we're like, what's the raccoon situation? But we're like, no. And they're like, well, they're really, really bad. So make sure you lock all your food up. And we're like, where? They're like, well, in a car. And we're like, we don't have a car. And so she was like, oh. And then just walked away. So we're like debating what to do. Like, do we try and put it in the bathroom and hope no one steals it? Because, we have our camp food, we have our snacks. And, we really are like, what do we do? Because you don't want them ripping up your expensive bike bags. You don't want them ripping up you in the tent. So we ended up, Ben had a large in the chat, had a length of rope. And we like got all our food like attached together in our like dry bags and stuff like that, and like pulled it over this tree branch, and it was so precarious. Now we all carry some rope and a carabiner in case, especially I think we started when we went to Michigan, whoever mentioned Traverse City, because up there we were worried about bears and stuff like that, so we knew we were going to need to hang our food. So now we always do that. So I even brought one on this trip, but this the campground I was at in PA actually had a hook, which is nice, but a lot of them just don't. So if they're not as so they're slower to have anything. But yeah, so now we're always like, what's the raccoon situation? But that spot too, the raccoons were so bad. Our fire was still going, and they were coming out of the woods towards us. We had to keep clapping and scaring them off before we were even in bed. So, and then next time Brad's on the live stream, I'll have him tell his story about his dreams and everything that we still reference as well. But I'm not going to spoil without him being here. So. Yeah, headphones are crucial for tuning out family drama. Yeah. Yeah, Deborah. And I also just, yeah, I probably was listening to some music that my parents didn't want me to. So, but. All right. Good night, Pudgy. Did you see that? He said, and Russian grandma.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, just have to have something to make your garbo unreachable, which needs to be a rope. Then, as I mentioned, though, when we were doing the Finger Lakes, the park ranger said we weren't allowed to hang our stuff over branches because it ruins the branches. We had used a dead branch, so he didn't. He was like, he looked up, he was like, yeah, that is a dead branch. So, but he said, and this was the one outside Ithaca, New York, that their policy at that park was you weren't allowed to hang anything. So if you were in a bike, I don't know what you would do in that situation, but they said they don't have any bear or raccoon problems at that park. Again, this is why it's so important, though, not to leave your trash around or your food around in the first place, because this is why they start coming. And with bears, it's a real big problem because they have to once the bears get used to getting food, they have to destroy them. So if you're someone leaving your food around, they're killing bears because of you. So, you know, and then the raccoons are just a problem. But it's lazy people that make that the issue. So, or unaware. I mean, or ignorant, unaware. You know. IKEA Rat said local state parks here have alligators all over the place. They don't bother the campers, but there are no small animals around. Oh yeah, man, I'm afraid of alligators.
I can't say I've ever been in a situation and need to worry about an alligator.
Man, even some of the places condos we stayed at in Florida, there's like a pond and there's a lot alligator hanging around and just. Yeah. Might find out the Orange Blossom Special opened up today. That's a bike gravel ride in Florida that I wanted to go to last year, even signed up for it, but just couldn't make it happen with the flights and stuff. I think January 10th, but yeah, I want to get down for that. It would be cool to get out of here in January and go ride bikes on gravel in Florida. Grand American in Vandalis. Vandalay? Is that Vandalay? Vandalis? I still don't know what that means. Do you look up that phrase? Grand American in Vandalis?
I thought you were talking about the Grand Lake in Ohio.
But he said when they were in Ohio. I was thinking it was like a band or something. The Grand. Saw a video the other day.
Oh, he's talking about trap shooting.
Oh, trap shooting. So he's asking you.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying where I got the earplugs.
Oh, have you been there?
Yeah, it's just north of Columbus.
Oh, okay.
It's a huge cardinal shooting complex.
Can you see this? Look at this guy right now. What is he doing? Oh, I can't get him on camera. Oh, yeah, you can. Can't see him. Why are you just looking at us? Why are you just looking at us, Edmund?
Yeah, get an Edmund cam.
I know, we need to rig this. This is long enough that I could, like, mount it up there. I'll have to do that for the next stream. Remind me if you remember. On my first bike camping trip, I woke up to a raccoon chugging my milk carton and spilling milk all over his face. It was partly my fault for leaving on the picnic table. No problem since. Oh, they are. Yeah, there's something. One got we were in a lean-to. This is the Joy Machines camp out. And I had a sandwich in the lean-to that I wasn't worried about because I was going to eat it. But then someone moved it over by me and I forgot about it, and that was definitely gone in the morning. They had opened up the plastic case, taken it out, eaten the whole thing. And everyone's like, you can't leave that in the lean-to. I'm like, I'm going to eat it tonight. And then they moved it, and the raccoons got it. Still, it was big. Source of contention about who was at fault over that. And I think it was the other people. Second Brian, you said you had a coon tear up a friend's bag full of food. Fortunately, he kept his food in a cheap string pack away from his panniers. Yeah. I woken up to a black bear trying to break into the bear-proof trash cans at the campsite in Colorado. That made you very big on carrying a rope and putting the food far away. Yeah. We didn't know how necessary it was at the places we were in Michigan, and we were just very cautious. We went into the woods and hung everything up. So, a rope in a little carabiner doesn't take up that much space. So, when I was younger, I was car camping in the Smoky Mountains, and I left my windows cracked, and I could see like all these paw prints where they tried to get into my car. They weren't cracked enough for them to get in there, but that was like my first lesson. I must have been in my early 20s. Good night, Ronald. Even field mice will eat through your tent and bags, huh? I guess I've never thought about mice on a trip. It probably depends on where you're camping for sure. But hooked to the deadhead so you get a concussion by the branch breaking. Ohio Gators, yeah. When you're in Florida and you're drunk, just pee where you are. Don't go behind a building. Is that because the alligators are behind buildings?
That would be my guess.
Yeah. Deborah said, my neighborhood have skunks visit at night. Fun time sneaking up to one, rooting through your garbage. Huh. I had skunks when I lived in West Akron. They lived under the deck, but they never bothered anything because they usually... I've never had skunks like get into the trash. They're always like rooting for grubs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess it probably just depends on if they realize they could get into trash. Maybe they'll eat it. I have no idea. But they never were a problem. I would be sitting on where we used to have fires out there, and they'd start walking towards me, and I would just clap real loudly before they try to get their attention before you would startle them at the last minute, and you wouldn't have a problem. When me and Dave worked on the farm, we would sometimes catch them in the raccoon traps, and we'd just take a beach towel or something and lay it over the trap and then open it up and walk away till they ran out. I remember one time I caught one, and I'm like, I need to go get a towel, and then I got caught in other tasks, and it was in the 2-acre field across the street, and all of a sudden we smelled skunk, and Johnny was like, did you go back for that skunk? And I'm like, I forgot. He's like, well, he just died. So I feel bad. That's like pretty inhumane to let him start or dehydrate in the sun, but farm work is a dirty business. John said, try a small squeeze bottle of ammonia and spray around the camp before bed. Ah, interesting. Man, I just feel like carrying a small bottle of ammonia is a risky thing on a bike tour too, because that breaks at the wrong time or something happens.
Yeah. There's other uses for ammonia. You do a little cleaning while you're out there. Wash some windows.
Is ammonia what my dad used to have me use on do you use that on linoleum? I think it was like a hot ammonia mix that I used to have to clean the floors with as one of my chores.
I've always known it as window cleaner.
Brian asks if I've done RegBri. I have not. Someone asks almost every live stream, and nothing wrong with that. My answer is always kind of the same. Me and my friends are pretty good at planning trips, and I'm not sure I would enjoy being with that many people for that extended period of time, because I really like the overnighters, nutmeg, hodag, stuff like that. But RegBri has never been something that's super interesting to me, but I know people love it, and I was even talking about this last week, watched a video right before the stream of someone doing it, and they had the time of their life. My friend Drew did it a couple years ago and absolutely loved it. But
Matt Rhodes subscribed to the channel.
Thanks, Matt. I would never say never to anything, but yeah, so far I haven't, and I have no plans to. So, but just planning vacations with my friends is more what I like to do. Edmund is trying to tell us to shut up. He's trying to sleep here. I'm surprised by how little noise bothers that dude. He sleeps right by the TV upstairs, so I have, said, Terry Berenson was streaming all day, or I have the races on. Today I was watching the Vuelta. He sleeps right next to the TV with seemingly no effect. Ivanhoe, watching from the Philippines. Nice. Hey, what's up, Mushroom Hill? Good to see you. You said you just got back from a perfect weather ride. Your friends complained too damn much. Ruined it for you. Akira, a mouse tried to get into your backpack on the White Rim Trail. You were lucky it was focused on the zipper and never figured out to move over to the cloth. I really have not. I guess I've just never thought about a mice issue while being out, but it makes total sense. Like I always say around here, if I get a mice issue in this basement again, Edmund's gonna have some real answering to do. That would be his one job. He doesn't pull his weight in pretty much anything else. He takes care of some spiders, but old time smelling salts were also ammonia. Does Ohio have a cross state ride? Yeah, it's more of a loop. It's called GOBA, Great Ohio Bike Ride, I think. So yeah, I have some. There's a guy I work with at the University of Akron who does it every year and loves it. And then also, I think it was last summer, I was riding out to Kent with my buddy Kyle, and we pull up to Bell Tower Brewing, a place we go to once in a while, and there's bikes everywhere, and we're so confused. And Gobo was in Kent that night, so they change the route every year, like Reg Bry, but I think it's always more of a region and a loop, and it's not nearly as long. But yeah, seems in general like an older dude ride. No offense, but just every time I see the crew and who does it, Ragbri seems like a much more diverse ride from what I've seen. So. Oh, your other bike camping people bike camped all over. Earlier this year, they went to Ireland for 2 weeks. That'd be really cool. Uh, yeah, people ask a lot about whatever bike pack in Europe, and it's like 100% if I could afford it, and or had the time to. I would love to go over there. Like I said, one of the regions I would love to do is Provence in France, but there's pretty much anywhere I would love to go and do it. On the Ragbri thought, every state has one or two cross states route. Any thought of doing those with friends? Yeah, we've done Ohio to Erie 3 times. So there's a route from Cleveland to Cincinnati. We did it kind of as it's marked the first year we did it, but we started here because we ride that section between here and Cleveland all the time, so we weren't going to mess with the logistics of getting up there when we could just ride from our door and then run a truck back. But yeah, so the Ohio one we've done on our own, and then we've done sections of the Empire Trail, which goes across New York. Like even when we did the Finger Lakes trip, we did part of that, but then went through the Finger Lakes. So, yeah, we do kind of do that thing. Are you aware of the Ohio Goat Trail? I'm not. I know there's a bike route that's the version of the Buckeye Trail, the Buckeye Trail is a hiking trail that connects a bunch of trails, goes all the way around the state, and there's a bike version that's supposed to be extremely climby and difficult, but I haven't heard of the Ohio Goat Trail. Oh, IKEA rats, the cross-state routes here are like 700 to 1,000 miles long. Yeah, Ohio to Erie is 346 miles, I believe, between Cleveland on Lake Erie, for people who don't know Ohio geography, and Cincinnati on the Ohio River. So it's kind of a cross-state diagonal route. So 1,100 miles across Ohio. It has to be circular. Ohio isn't 1,100 miles big. Because I'd be interested to see what it is though, but Google Maps doesn't really show state lines till you like zoom way out. But if you look at, I don't have it up there.
That's about the Buckeye Trail.
Yeah, so Cleveland up there, Cincinnati down here. So you could see that's most of the state, and that's 346 miles. So to get to 1,100, you would really have to be circling the state.
I think the Buckeye Trail is what?
I don't know.
It's either 900 or 1,100. Anywhere in between there. It might be like 936, I think.
Ohio Goat Trail is for bikers, motorbikes. Gotcha. Yeah, I've said this before, so sorry to bore the ones who know it, but basically there are some really, really boring sections of Ohio to Erie. Outside Columbus. Oh, here's the trail right here. So once you get on the Heart of Ohio Trail, and then whatever this trail is, this section between getting out here through London and South Charleston into Cedarville, as you can see how it's an old rail trail, so you can see how just straight and flat it is. There's nothing interesting right here in this part of the state. It's just all mega farms and gigantic cornfields. It's what people think of that all of Ohio is, but it's because the turnpike There's freeways that run through 71 and stuff, so there's not much to see. But yeah, so what we did is the next few years we modified it. So we came out here to Springfield and went down through Yellow Springs into Xenia. It starts getting pretty again around Xenia, and Springfield's a cool town. Yellow Springs is a really cool, like, little hippie-ish town. So basically, that's what we've done is just modified it. Also, Caesar Creek is where we had the raccoon situation. I see it now. So we broke off the trail to camp in state parks. We didn't camp trailside at a lot of places because they're just not as good. But yeah, and then the next year we went up even farther. So we went up through all the way up to Belle Fountain. I don't think it has a French pronunciation in Ohio. It's not Bellefontaine like we were saying. So and then cross the state that way over north of Columbus and up. So yeah, we modified it a few times after we did it once, as they had the plan. So a lot of gravel. Huh. I'll have to look into that, the Ohio Goat Trail. Is there like an official website or anything? There is a Cross Ohio gravel route, and it's a race, like an endurance race. I think it's in the fall. It's probably coming up, but that's from the Ohio River again up to Cleveland. That is super climby and mostly gravel. Friend of the channel, just a friend, E, who lives in Philly now, did it. I think minimal sleep, maybe 3 days. It's been a while. I followed along when he did it, but see, it says it's got a trail in Maryland. Great Ohio Adventure Trail. Interesting. Let's see the map. Everyone wants to see the map. Huh, that turns it into being 1100. It doesn't go around the state. I mean, it goes around a lot of the state, but it's not like a loop. It just is so...
Yeah, you go down, then up to Mansfield, all the way down to damn near West Virginia.
Yeah, this is adding a bunch of miles right here. Huh. Still, it doesn't look like it's that far when you look at the map, but yeah, you turn that into a straight line. Where's it starting? Up in Conneaut? Looks like Conneaut, yep. Conneaut has a beautiful beach. You would not expect it. I mean, it's a huge bluff looking over Lake Erie with the river there. It's awesome. Did a overnighter up there, back-to-back centuries, more than that, because we went over to PA and rode in these game lands. There's a bunch of gravel roads over here. So in the morning, so we rode up to Conneaut, went right in the water, and then went to a restaurant, probably this Breakwall Barbecue. Conneaut is not a happening town. It's pretty depressed. Yeah, then in the morning we went over and rode a bunch of these gravel roads, and then rode back. So that was like 130-mile days. My sciatica was hurting, and then my pedal bearings went on the leg that my sciatica was bad on. I had to put inward pressure on the pedal to keep it from falling off while riding with sciatica pain. It was miserable.
I've never been. Closest I've ever been is on 90, going to Buffalo.
Yeah, because you go right through. On my way back from the trip I was just on, I went by there. Yeah, Ashtabula, all that. You're planning for that, Peekaboo? 1,100 miles? Yeah, Pat, it doesn't let you put... the Google chat doesn't let you put links in it. Because spammers, unfortunately. So that's part of why we use the Discord, because people are able to drop links in the Discord and I can pull them up. Yeah, even just getting outside and having a fire was so great. I don't know how many more trips I'll get to pull off this year. Definitely going to plan to do nutmeg. So one more time getting out into the woods. But should we wrap it up? It's 10:20. Got a long day. Continental's coming here tomorrow to the studio.
Yikes.
Yeah. As I mentioned last week, we're not doing tires, we're doing belts. But yeah, I'm going to have people from Continental over here. So I think I am going to call it because I do want to get up early. I got a few things picked up from my trip, but I actually, Edmund's like fur that's like blowing around the hardwood floors and all that. I want to put a better foot forward. All right, dudes. So, as mentioned, if you saw the last video, there's going to be a part 2. That'll be the riding in Boston. I have a video of a bunch of footage we did, or I have a bunch of footage from a ride we did last week, which is like an industrial gravel ride. I was thinking of making another music video, so that could be cool. I know some people really like those. Some people don't. That's how it goes. Anyways, yeah. Good night, everyone. Good night, Brian. Good night, Unbalanced. See you in the next one.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Cause
Yeah.
this time I'm just
Fitzwater photo.
In the awful way, holiday, holiday today, and all I want to say, holiday, holiday today. You catch the first train home, drives to be alone, yeah, and all I want to do is to get with you. Hey, in the awful way, holiday, holiday today, and all I want to say, holiday, holiday today. You catch the first train home, drives to be alone, yeah, and all I want to do is to get with you. Hey!
Thank you video. I need to make a new one this summary.
Yes, all I want to say, holiday, holiday today, and any awful way, holiday, holiday today, la la la, la la la, la la la, la 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 la, la la la, la la la, la 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 la.
Pat Styles super chatted $1.99. Thanks, Tim.